black dude with two of his classmates, two white women. They were going to school, walking. The cop went up to him and wanted him to show his papers.
He wanted to search him, stop and search.
Yes. And the dude, hey, for what? I didn't do anything. All of a sudden, he wanted to arrest the dude. So he gonna grab hold of the dude to keep him where he is, keep from leaving. So he gets on what you call calls backup. Now, 10 police walked up there. They standing around, and
a few of them had guns.
They made him or told him he better, if he has a right to search him. So the guy searched him, went through all his pockets, took everything he had papers and stuff like that, looked at him, put him back in his pocket. The dude didn't do anything wrong. So one of the cops told him to go head on. So the dude walked away, the police walked away, except the one dude that stopped him. The dude went over there with his friends. They got him, said, come on, let's go to class. The dude walked over there and stopped him again and tried to detain him. Just wouldn't let him go.
And that's unusual because England is not
a what?
A state of racism.
Are you for real?
Huh?
Are you for real?
You haven't been watching what's over there?
Let me ask you a question. Do you know about the prince and the princess? Well, she wasn't a princess at first.
Yeah.
Do you know why they no longer live where they live?
Because they give them so much shit about.
Who gives who so much shit?
The nobility.
No,
the people.
No. It's not just the nobility. I'm gonna explain what came out of her mouth in the interview they had with her. She is not playing. The stuff that they did to her was horrific. It was the same stuff that went on in the 60s during the civil rights movement, where bananas were given, left on her porch. Caricatures in the newspaper were made of her as the racist things you can come up with.
But that's because of the nobility, though, David.
No, that's because the people.
I understand what you're saying, but interracial relations in England is everyday common. The only reason that it wasn't acceptable to them was because it was their nobility. If it'd been anybody else besides the nobility, nobody would ever looked at it.
I gotta tell you like this.
Well, they have places in England today, right now, where a lot of Africans live in England. Okay, now they have places. The black people in England have places where they live. If they can't live certain places, they can't go certain places.
I'm gonna say it like this, Al. This is the bottom line. Check this out. The fact of the matter is, she was African American descent. She was African descent.
Yeah.
She was biracial.
Yeah.
She's a light-skinned mulatto black woman with freckles.
Yeah.
Check this out. If she was any other race, would there have been racist things done to her? If she was a white woman or an Indian woman, there would have been racist things done to her. The only reason why there weren't racist things done to her as a white woman is because she wasn't white, but because she was of black descent, there were racist things done to her by the people. That has nothing to do with nobility. The people chose to portray her like that and do those things to her. Just because the queen don't like something, that ain't got nothing to do with the tea they drink on Tuesday.
I hear that. But I think if she had been...
The media did that. The newspapers did that.
If she had been anything besides white, I think that they would have done the same thing with her marrying.
That's racist.
I didn't say it wasn't racist.
It's the people who did it. Not because royalty had a problem with her not being of blood royal line, but because
the people had a thing with her not being of royal line.
That's fine, but you don't make racist comments and racist bigotry type things in the public newspapers, in the magazines.
I think that they would have if she'd have been Indian or
right.
Chinese.
So your point about them not being racist is mute because they are. They show it by what you're saying right now. If she had been any other race other than white, they would have did racist things to her. So England is racist.
Just like in China today, right now, they have Africans in China. And one country in Africa, I want to say Ghana. The president of Ghana is trying to get his people out of there. Because in China, if you're black, you cannot buy property. You cannot.
You get by it if you're white.
I don't know about that.
Well,
I do.
I don't know about that.
there's white people that own shit in Hong Kong.
But they own it through Chinese entities and whatever. You look at some of the business and whatever. They have the pipelines that they have to go through. China is China. I mean, you're an outsider if you're not Chinese. Period.
Well, yeah.
Well, that's not America. America was founded by a bunch of random motherfuckers coming together and wanting to do their own thing. The problem with that is they wanted other people to do it for them. So they brought people to do
it. You can own
it.
shit in China if you're white because Chinese own shit here. They in with the white people that got money because they have shit that they buy, buildings, property, everything here. So
basically, white people can make $1 in China, black people and other races can't.
Nope.
That's the deal. If you're of African descent, you can't make any money unless you work for a Chinese person and whatever they pay you, they pay you. But you can't go out there and get a business on your own. I can't go out there and open me a restaurant in China.
You can't buy a house.
You know what
and
I'm saying?
the people there, what are they doing there? Why don't they leave?
I know.
That's the thing I don't understand.
Because of what they do for a living most times. Because of what they do for a living most times.
Money can't be that good to take that shit.
It's not about money. It's about what they do for a living. What they do for a living is what they choose to do. Like they choose to do it, and they do it wherever they have to do it. So if they're a teacher or in education or in engineering or in science or any field, medicine, that's where they can do it. That's where they do it.
And he was talking about Ghana. See, if they have those professions like he just named in Ghana, they probably make 50 cents on it.
Not at all. Not at all. Because this is the whole deal. The person who's in charge of Ghana has already told every black person in America, I give y'all a free pass to bring your ass over here. We'll take care of you. You can leave America and all that bullshit, and you can come over here, and we got you.
I understand, but they're not going to make nowhere near the money in Ghana.
You don't know that. We don't. You know. Go to your Google right now, and ask Google the economic value of Ghana before you say that.
Well, when last time I looked, it was pretty low.
Compared to who?
Compared to us or compared to China?
Everyone's low compared to us in China.
The economic, the gross national product.
And you know what the funny thing is? The funny thing is that you say that because America
Let me know when you want to come out.
is the giant that it is because of the black people in it. And the minorities of people of brown skin and tone who live in it.
Just go get that plate off there, brother.
So if they left and moved anywhere in a mass migration to somewhere else, they would take all of that with them.
Oh, yeah.
So America would no longer be that big giant of a giant that it is. And China would say, let me go over there and shit in your toilets.
Yeah.
Because the truth of the matter is, this entire country's foundation of people rest in the fact that there are brown, black, tan people who make this whole country work.
Well, that's
and have made this country what it is, not because of the Caucasian or white people who have been in this country. Literally, if you look at the accomplishments of the people on this planet and what they've done, I need you to just tell me one thing a white person did.
I don't know
Like,
what you're referring to.
Like, what did they invent? What did they write? What did they compose? Beethoven was black, apparently.
Beethoven was black?
Apparently. The wrench was created and invented by a black man. So that covers every wrench, therefore, after. The wrench, the monkey wrench, the original wrench, and therefore every other wrench, all the way down to that socket wrench, comes from that wrench. There are so many things in this world that come from what we call minorities.
I understand that, and right now, if the truth be known, the white population in the United States is a minority.
They've always been a minority.
No, they haven't always been a minority.
Yeah, they have. You know why they have? Because if you take a census paperwork and you examine it from now and you go back and do your research to all of them, you'll find out that white Caucasian Americans have not always been white Caucasian Americans. They have been other races of people who have just been filed under that number to boost the number of white Caucasian Americans, to make them a non-minority. But I'm telling you right now, a Hindu person, an Indian person, a Pakistani person is not white.
No.
But when they get classified in America, guess what? They get classified as
It's
white,
Caucasian.
as Caucasian. A Mexican American classifies themselves as Caucasian on paperwork in order to have the proper documentation in this country. Why? In order for the white Americans to have more numbers, not to be a minority. But you got to look at history and the real numbers and use your common sense. It's not that many white people in America anyway. It's never been that many white people. When they got here, they were surrounded by Native Americans and Mexicans. They were outnumbered when they came here. And they brought black people with them.
Look.
So then they're outnumbered on that toe. You got white, black, Mexican, and Native American.
No, they didn't bring black people with them.
Yes, they did.
They didn't get black
If
people.
you don't stop it, if you don't tell me right now that you honestly in your mind believe that Christopher Columbus and those ships that came in here, the Nina, the Panina, and the Altatina, didn't have slaves on it.
To begin with, those ships did not come in here.
We're not talking about the West Coast. You know they came on the East Coast.
No, they didn't either.
Where they come in? Florida?
No, they come in
The Mexican
Puerto
Gulf?
Rico and one of the islands down there. They never actually landed on the United States proper.
Well, that's semantics. We're saying who was on the boat. And the fact of the matter is there were slaves on the boat because they rowed the boat.
But like the North American continent was found by Leif Erikson, and there wasn't no fucking black people on his boat.
Okay, so I'm going to explain something real quick, and it's real simple and it's factual. Check this out. Black people have been all over this planet long before Mr. Christopher Columbus and anybody else, even down to the Vikings, decided they want to set foot on North America. And how we know this is, Egyptians sailed the entire planet, the entire encompass of the planet. You see what I'm saying? And you can't deny that Egyptians come from, and then there are, because they come from, you know what I'm saying?
I know what you're saying.
So
but
when
I'm
you
not
get
sure
here,
that
when you
I'm not
get
sure
here,
that I adhere to
when you,
the theory that the Egyptians discovered the whole world.
they didn't discover what's already here. They sailed the whole world.
I don't believe that.
Really?
Yeah, really.
Okay. So you don't believe in Pangea neither, right?
I don't know Pangea.
All right. Okay. Pangea. Pangea is scientifically proven to be the first landmass that existed on Earth.
Okay.
All the continents that we now live on, at one point in time, were one giant landmass.
That's theory.
It's not theory. They have taken scientific tools, they have taken machines and computers, and they have actually figured it out. It's you can Google it. It's not a theory. It's Google.
Google.
You know what? You know how accurate Google is? I want you to Google on your phone. Google, show me a picture of an idiot.
I heard you tell that earlier.
I didn't. That's not a joke. That's literally the algorithm that Google has put together. That when you ask for a picture of an idiot, there's only 6 pictures that pop up.
Donald Trump, I understand.
Mm-hmm. So
Okay, wait, David. Okay, my friend in Santa Monica, he's Mexican. Both his parents were born in the United States. That's where he was born. Okay, his wife is from Mexico. She was born in Mexico. Now, she's here. She has a green card. She's been here since high school, since she's 19 years old. And she's the same age I am. She's 74. Now, on her birth certificate, when it says race, it says Caucasian.
so she can get.
So she was thinking she's Caucasian. I told her, and her husband told her the same thing. You are not Caucasian.
You know why they put Caucasian? Because in Mexico, if you're Caucasian, you can get into America. If your birth certificate says Caucasian on it, and you may look Mexican,
You won't have no
you
problem.
won't have no problem coming into this country. And the simple fact that America knows this, and if you come into this country legally and you put your information down, they suggestively suggest that you put Caucasian down.
Well, and see, technically, she shouldn't have to have a green card. She should be, by being married to a naturalized citizen, she should be automatically.
In all reality,
She got that before she got married.
there shouldn't be a green card in the first place.
She was high school when she came here.
Okay,
There shouldn't be a green card in the first place.
but she shouldn't have had one after she got married.
She shouldn't have one, period. This
Keep
is
it.
America.
She don't get rid of her green card.
Yeah, her green card is her slave card. That's her freedom papers.
See, because the reason she kept it and the name that's on the green card is when I met them, her husband and I worked together, 1968 until we both retired. Okay, now, as they were having kids, she would go and get on welfare. Now, he worked for the phone company. She would go get on welfare, not to be getting money and stuff, but she used her surname, not her married name, to go. Her kids to go to Head Start. Her kids to go to the clinic, county clinic, and stuff like that. As far as the county knew, she wasn't married.
And she was Caucasian.
Thank you. And all of the, damn near every Spanish person in Santa Monica and West LA in that area were married and still on the county.
And I wouldn't doubt that a lot of them on that paperwork, in order to get those situations, utilize the fact that somewhere along the line there was a Caucasian that they could go off of.